Alright, welcome to Planet Coaster 2 in this new kind of format. I might have mentioned that before in Northgard stream, I'm not sure. I do usually test build some of the attractions in some form or fashion. There's still that audio jitter. I am not sure where that is from. And that appears to be some kind of a bug with echo removal. We'll turn that off for now. No, it's still there. I don't know. I don't even know if there's anything to hear. I just know it is there. As I was saying, I apologize if that's audible, but I am not sure it is. Alright, so, what was I? Yeah. I might have mentioned it. I do test build some of the attractions, especially the coasters. It's usually not the complete layout I test build, it's more like a feasibility test on certain elements or whatnot. Or if the coasters or attractions usually fit together or are capable of doing certain elements in a way of fashion that fits and is feasible. Looks somewhat realistic. Anyway, I usually do that in this park. So as you can see, there is this coaster. It was a test for a sci-fi coaster. Pretty sci-fi, futuristic vibe thingy. It kind of evolved in a just overkill coaster test builds. I will not build it. I will kind of build something in this form or fashion, but there are certain elements I will not use. For example, there will be not a float lounge and stuff like that. So yeah, this is my test bench, and today we're gonna test build the pirate thing, which is this big M Rides coaster. Nice that bug still exists. It's always fun. Oh wait, I do have one problem. I don't know why that is. I just don't know where that. I think. I'm sure. I honestly have. Might also just be a bug. Indeed, it is. Huh. Interesting. Let me check. Okay, so it's not that setting. I don't think there was an update. It's the last time I built or something in here, so. Well, there's still kind of some tricks you can use. Alright. So that's the upgraded version of the original, I think, Splash Coaster by Mack Rides. There's certain elements that I don't think are problematic. I know there is a dethemed version, I think. There is a dethemed version, although I have to admit the non-dethemed version isn't probably fits. That's... I have to admit, no wait, it's not a splash coaster, it's a... I think it's 'cause they call it splash coaster, so I'm not sure why they use a different name in here. Anyway, so this one, it honestly like a dethemed version for it, but there isn't, because that lamp is very annoying. Anyway, so I'm alright. So that's a splashdown, and that's a descent. So is there any? I always thought there was an elevator for this thing. Doesn't even have turntables, which I'm pretty sure that I built. No, wait, yeah, I just remembered something from the demo. Played at Gamescom 2 years back. Alright, so the first thing is probably just... let me think. I always thought there was an elevator for this coaster. You have to admit, I never remember Ocean. So the question is, I do know. Wait, that's on the track ride, right? So it doesn't even. Well, okay, so we're starting on the top of the hill somewhere like this. Is that something of its 6 meters? Guess I'm here. I do have some additional 2 meters, I guess, to the water down. So it's all it's just theoretical, it's just to check whether the elements I'm planning to build are even feasible. Oh, that's the hardest curve I can do. That is not straight. Okay, that is also fixed with the intro depth, right? So can I do this? Alright. So it's too deep, so kinda Yep, that's what I was afraid of. So essentially, I have to go from there, this. But even the original has that. I don't get some of the restriction in this game. I mean, yeah, sure, but that's easier to model. But you could do that dynamically, and just if you're flat, then extend the channel a bit, and the back of the channel a bit. I mean, if I remember correctly, I do have to Google that. One second, I'll show you the pictures for that. Just give me a moment. There should be a picture online somewhere. One second. But even the second splash is that high. A moment, please. I am just looking for the right image. Yeah, let's do storage official page. Sadly, there is not a good picture. At least I can't. Oh wait, there. Set. Here, if you look like, let's see, is there anything open? Shouldn't be. If you look here, I have to find the right tab. If you check here in this picture, you can see that it's really flat, and that's the original manufacturer kind of demo ride version that Mac Rides built. So I'm not sure why that restriction is there. Yeah, you can see that's really flat. And the first drop, which I couldn't find, my stream controls not. I don't get it why that's in German, but whatever. Oh, technically it's a German website. Just let me switch back. So I don't get why that's so steep. Give me a moment. I'll I'm too lazy, so I'll turn on my stream. Deck ask feature. There we go. So I'm not sure. I just have to check. First. Well, now it's a slasher film. Do public domain, that's easier. Well, there is no results for you to share and use. I do think that's also the second splash, but I am... Is that the second or the first splash? That is the first splash, but you can't really see anything. That's the first lift tail, that's the end, that's the wrong coaster. That is the right coaster, but not what I'm looking for. So maybe this image, let me see. That's this image, right? Yeah, so here you... No, I don't want to zoom like that. I want to... I hate zooming. Zoom like this. Right, so if you check here, now I have to select the right button. Here, that's even flatter back here. Here you can see it like it's... Well, if you... I have to zoom in probably because the stream quality is that bad. But back here you can see it's essentially, it's just barely above the water line, so you don't have water splashing down there because it goes under a bridge back there, which is below the water table of that lake thing. So essentially you're going below the water table, then you're going just barely above so you can hit the water. And in game, all I can do is this thing, which I think is kind of lazy. Yeah, I want to close all tabs. Kind of lazy on Frontier's part, because that's not the only coaster that has this problem. It is relatively frustrating because it's mostly the water elements. The Giga Coaster equivalent with the water essentially has the same thing. Alright, so this means... What should I... So I'll probably do this one. I'll probably go down all the way. The height is still not final, I do have to admit that. Again, why... Oh wait, so... Does... Yes. So then... Yes. You have to admit that's a pretty uncomfortable element. So... That won't be that straight, especially given that I have to go that steep. Well, so we'll probably go like that, and then we will on the water go around to Galleon something, and the pier, and between the piers there will be that flat thing. So So this will enter the wall on this side. Yeah, as I did say before, that's just a test spell, so... Did they? I don't know. Well, let's see. 1, 2... Entrance, right? Well, the bugs to like this. Great, perfect. Well, that on the other hand, that might still be fine. So depending, I have to open it to check that. We could technically do a special element here. That's just, I will not port this directly, I will just, again, this is just for testing purposes. So first of all, oh! Did I fuck that up on on the other coaster too, or did I change that? I remember there was an issue building in Northgard with the this there was an issue while building in Northgard with the well, so will the question is, do block breaks even do anything in this mode? So we'll have to check that. I didn't check that before. So if I switch to block detection, of course it won't work. So yes, that I know. Start test. I think this is still a problem. That will launch them immediately. So I do have to work with... Alright, so... two things. This does not work. So we will probably have to do this. Edit mode. So let's delete. It's also something I don't get. Why can't I just delete the whole thing if I mark the whole thing? Why does it automatically mark, select the whole? Sorry, yeah, why does it automatically select the whole thing, the whole station? But then it doesn't work like it has selected the whole station. Alright, So we'll have to resort to, let's see. The problem is it doesn't, it ignores block sections, which is an issue. On the other hand, for this coaster, it might not be. No, it might. No, there would probably won't. That will probably not have enough speed. I am aware of that. So what I do have to set here is full load. Minimum waiting time is 40. I guess the minimum interval is something around 25-second mark. No, I didn't. So I guess it's around 17 seconds mark. I wasn't paying attention. Oh wait, I do have to enable that for that to work. That's usually a problem. Sorry. Alright, so 17 seconds is still too long, so let's say 15. Stop chest, edit, and let's break target. Can I? No, I can't. I didn't even think that was possible. So it's 13 seconds. So that's rather boring. Let me get through that. Oh, I just remembered, Disneyland Paris does have a similar ride. Like the hyped up version of the original Pirates of the Caribbean. Which is a water coaster, so I'm not sure which make, and God, that's ugly. Forgot an element there. Also sometimes a problem if they forget element to do, yeah, here again. I mean, I know what they did in the original, so I can do that as well. It's you go up here and then you just, and the speed is too low, yeah. No, it doesn't block that. Interesting. Well, that might be an issue. Alright. So that's, let's see. There are two things I have to remember when I build that. That. There a way you can incorporate that. Yes. I believe so. We'll put a tower there with a sewer outlet or something up there, and then let's just drop it. Yeah, that's... Okay, hide. Might have to put a curve up there, so it's more like right here. Yeah, that works. So, pacing-wise, there's no way to speed up or slow down the water, which is a bit of a problem. But I also know there is no option any other coaster type could do this one. I have never tested this log flume, I have to admit, so I just have to test build it. So the shortest way this way, because this even longer. Wait, I can go up down here, that's nice. Okay, I go down. Very flat. Oh, yes. So that's the alternative. I know lift hills don't work, so I will not use them, but this might be an option. Let's see, so I can go steal this. Okay, so let's this time splashed. Alright. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I do have another idea for this one, which I probably won't have to test because I know the elements for this one are pretty similar to the usual, to the normal log flume thing. So let's. Okay, so as I was I did never test that because they added a few new elements, which is nice. So I can go big, I can go big wavy, small wavy. I can go just to that side. Right, so essentially everything I want. Right, now. I just want to add here, there is another version of this ride, which I believe is by a different manufacturer, that uses kind of like a flume style tube thing, half tube. So it's essentially you slide down a huge half pipe thing, half pipe-esque thing with that huge, I don't know, which is pretty fast and pretty fun to ride, so I'm not sure why that isn't included. On the other hand, the selection is absolutely abysmal. It's like a coaster too. Regarding new attractions, I mean, okay, yeah, I do have this thing, which I still have no clue what I want to do, I can do with that, because it's not a real coaster. But it allows banking and inclines, so I can build it like a coaster, but it just is a slow people mover, similar to a people mover. Then there's the small mini railway, which is great. I like it. I do want to build that one. Although I'm not a fan of the concrete track under thing. He just farted on, I guess. You could technically, I just realized, you can just move it down to about here. Which is essentially the only way to build that thing. I just realized. Because otherwise, if you place an entrance, your path will be in the air. Which is kinda pointless. Does it make the train sound? That sounds strange on this train. Sounds too big. On the other hand, I'm looking forward to building that in the western area. I decided on this train thing, which stuck. So, now I have to decide. I will build this, but I have to decide now. Well, I have to think about. Yeah, okay, I might build it. Okay. I will use this culture. Have to do a longer version, of course. But it will be limited to one. No, 2 drops, because I want a second drop for moving one stage down. I guess I even need one. Okay, I have to test that one, I guess. I just want to go out of the water, then all I can do to go down is either this one or this one. Well, the best probably be do a small thing like this, then go like Alright, so then I do have to break down here. Guess there's some additional straight probably is in order. Let's go a bit lower and then just go. go up like this, and then let's do the break here. Do a small border effect thingy, and then let's go. How much? And then we're already on the lower way to. Well, then I can build below that. So I should go higher here, not that low there. I mean, it's also the perfect position for that. You just have to put a wall in here and there, and then I can go below that without even having to use that much space. And then I go left instead of right, and go up there once, and then down, and then I break, and then I go into the water again. Alright, so I'm gonna turn around here and then just go down. And then I have to go up again for the drop, which I can do because I'm in the city wall. So I have to kind of do it on this side close to the western area because the monorail is already split to the left. So I can use that space in the wall and put a tower there, and then I cut the curve in the tower and the kind of on a higher point, and then it just spills down. And then I have to take something, what it comes from originally, because that's too high if I go all the way up. I might just do a flow through river. Okay, I do have to think about that, but I do like it like this, so let's test that and then we'll stop for today. I did this kind of without real planning, schedule-wise, so I do have to finish already, stop already, which is pretty short for me. Standards. 1 hour. Okay, so we're going around there. Well, that's really slow. Gee. No, I didn't pay attention. It's bad. Well, I guess I do have to break back here a bit more. It was just like 12 and harder break, and then wait, now I don't. Why did it reset now? Okay, I'm happy it's slow enough so you won't hurt yourself in the dark, because those cars are not that comfortable. Yes, this will be a dark ride section, this coaster part. Alright, so that works. Great. Testing for this type is complete with that. I think I tested everything I wanted to do, so yeah, that's it for today. I hope this is interesting for some people watching. Although I do have to admit today this was a bit unstructured. I usually am a bit more focused and get more done. Anyway, so thanks for watching and see you in the next stream or whatever. I think stream, yeah. Bye bye.